Hello everyone, Melderon Gaming here on Excalibur TBC on my Druid Oakenhorn. So, in my vanilla tutorials, which I haven't really made some in a little while, I was always stressing on making an add-ons tutorial. And if you've never played Warcraft before, or only have played current retail, you may not be aware of how to manually install add-ons. Add-on installation is pretty easy, and we're going to walk through it today. I want you to look at my UI right now. As you can see, this is recount. This tracks your DPS, or any number of things, healing per second, anything you can think of. This is an add-on, so this is something that's not part of the core WoW installation. So I'm going to show you how to install add-ons, where to install them, and how to set them up today. So let's get started. So the first thing you might be asking yourselves, guys, is where are my add-ons? So in Vanilla WoW and in Burning Crusade, this guide is for both, even good for Wrath of the Lich King, really. Your installation is going to look something like this. I have a little bit of extra things in here. I have this open broadcaster software. This is how I do my recording. And I have this servers.txt. You won't have those two things. That's fine. But your basic installation is going to look like this. You'll have your wow.exe. This is what you double-click to play your game. Or if you create a shortcut on your desktop, that's what it's going to look like. Your add-ons are in this interface folder. So you double-click, go to add-ons. These are all your add-ons. Anything that says Blizzard _ is part of the core game UI. Those things will be here. But all this other stuff, cartographer, cartographer, quest helper, recount, atlas loot, these things are additional. You won't have these in your installation unless you download Excalibur WoW, which comes with some basic add-ons. So I already have some add-ons in here, but I want to add 2 more. So I'll show you how to add add-ons to your installation and how to turn them on. So we're going to navigate to your web browser, open up whatever web browser you have, and I'm going to navigate to a pretty awesome video that was made for feral druids in Burning Crusade, made by Protcal. So it's a great video if you want to level a feral druid as a tank. Anyway, so in his description he has some add-ons that I want to download. One of them is called Diamond Threat Meter, and the other one's called Debuff Filter. One times my debuffs, and one is a threat meter that's allowed me to measure threat. If you remember from my tutorials, threat is a way to keep a monster's attention. As a tank, that's something you really want to do, and tracking who has threat is very important. So we're going to download this. This is a Google Drive link. Okay, so I'm going to download it to my desktop just to show you how to, for ease of understanding how this works. So we're going to save it to the desktop, and we're also going to save this debuff filter. We're going to download that, and also save it to the desktop. Okay, once those two things are downloaded, you can minimize your web browser. You don't need that anymore. And if you see on my desktop now, I have 2 zip files. I would extract these. You can either extract them right into your installation or just extract them on the desktop. I'll just drag them here for ease of visual ease. Okay, so we're going to close that. We're going to get rid of the old one, the zip file. You'll no longer need that one anymore. Just throw that in your trash can. And we're going to move this debuff filter out as well. Okay. So close those, close this, get rid of that installation. Now open up your interface, add-ons, and simply just drag the folders right in. That's how you install add-ons, guys. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our thing. We're gonna double-click on here, and I'll meet you back in game. Okay, guys, back in the loading screen, or back in the character selection screen, excuse me. So you obviously have known this screen. This is where your characters are. This is where you select who you're going to play. Okay, so your add-ons are going to be down here in add-ons. By default, this load out-of-date add-ons will be unchecked. Since you're playing on a private server, not all the add-ons are going to be the exact same version number that they should be, the most up-to-date version number. So as you'll notice, WoW will automatically deselect and not load cartographer and debuff time filter, which is one of the ones I just downloaded. So if you just check this, it'll load them. If you want to turn off an add-on, you just click it and turn it off. If you want to turn on an add-on that you just, so by default, whenever you download an add-on, if WoW can load that add-on, it will load it. So these should all be checked if you want to load. If you want to turn off something because you're getting some error messages, just turn it off. It's that easy. You cannot, unlike Legion or current retail WoW, you cannot turn on and off add-ons while you're logged in. You have to log out. So that's one thing that you want to worry about. So okay, so once they're all on, the ones you want to turn on and on, you can also do this for all or by character. You can do that as well. Hit OK, log into your character, and if you remember the first screen, what my UI looked like, this is going to look a tad bit different from what that is because I have 2 additional add-ons. One of them is very, very easy to spot. This is your diamond threat meter. This is my threat meter over here on the right. So if I select NPC here, you'll notice that the name comes up, Prairie Stalker level 7. Now if I hit him, you'll see that Oakenhorn has threat. This little arrow here is telling me who I have threat on. And now he's dead, and it goes away. So that's your threat meter. In a party system, when you're in a dungeon, there'll be a lot more names here, and it'll show who has aggro on which monster, and how much aggro you have, how much threat you have. Okay, so that's the diamond threat meter, and that shows up right over here. Again, this did not look like this when I first logged in, guys. So when you download an add-on, you kind of want to look and see if it's in this interface folder. So if you go to interface, add-ons, you'll notice diamond threat meter has a GUI, or a graphical user interface menu. This is not a command line menu. Some add-ons have only command line options. So here I can change all my options, and that's where your options are here, and how to control that add-on. Debuff filter, on the other hand, is a command line system. So if you hit /, that's your / is how you start a command in Warcraft, and you hit D filter, it brings up the debuff filter menu. Now the funny thing is that debuff filter also has a GUI, graphical user interface, but it's not accessible from your interface options. So add-ons can be a little tricky that way. This took me about 5 minutes to set up. This is the other add-on I downloaded, and if you notice down here, Thorns and Mark of the Wild, it's tracking my buffs. Usually your buffs are up here, which they still are, but they're kind of hard to see, right? You have to look up there all the time and see what your timer is. This tells me exactly how much time I have left on each buff, down to the second, which is very, very nice. And if you go to, target, you can tell what debuffs you want to track on your target, what buff you want to track on your target. So if I'm healing, I can see how much time I have left on these buffs. And then on myself, on the player, what do I want to track on myself? Okay, what debuffs do I want to track versus what buffs I want to track? So this is really, really a neat add-on. It lets you see your buffs right in front of you very clearly. So let's see what it looks like on a target. So we have this wolf over here, and Moonfire is a debuff. So if I hit this guy with Moonfire, once I get in range, you'll notice that Moonfire is up here. 11 seconds, 10 seconds left on that. So I know exactly how much time is left on all my buffs and debuffs. If I go into bear form, I can put on my enrage, and there's enrage down here. And then I can also maybe throw on, well, it didn't work because he was dead. But anyway, as you can see, now I want to show you how it's going to track Demoralizing Roar. And you'll see right here the target has 27 seconds of Demoralizing Roar. So it's a really nifty add-on. I really enjoy it. And so that's how you configure your add-ons, guys. So I'm going to, before I end this video, I want to go back out and go back to our web browser and show you some really cool resources to download add-ons for either Vanilla or Burning Crusade, and possibly even Wrath of the Lich King one. So I'll see you back outside the game. Hey guys, back over here. So there's some great resources for you to get add-ons for either, we're going to go from Vanilla, BC, or Wrath. And again, if you guys have never played WoW before, or have only played, we used Curse Client, which is a great resource, but really isn't available for Vanilla and some of these older expansions. You'll have to manually download these things and put them in your folder, which is part of the fun, I think. But so Vanilla add-ons, there are 2 links I want to put up. One of them is this addons.us.tu/addons. This is a whole bunch of Vanilla add-ons, and they have multiple pages down here, as you can see. So it's pretty sweet. There's also a TBC part of this too. So. But I think I have a better TBC resource for you. And there's a second Vanilla link I'm going to provide if it's still active. Alex Sensual, who's a big YouTuber for Vanilla WoW private servers, he has a Google Drive link to some of the stuff that he uses. I'll also provide that in the description. This is the TBC add-on resource I found, actually just now. It looks pretty awesome. TBC 2.4.3, which is what Excalibur is, and most of the BC private servers are 2.4.3. Loads and loads of add-ons here with descriptions, which is going to be great. I'm going to peruse this actually when I'm done. And for Warmain, which is a popular Wrath of the Lich King private server, this will... So this is actually for... So you have Wrath. This is all Wrath here. And Warmain has multiple expansions, but this is the Wrath one. The reason I picked this, it's a forum post, but it's a very well-detailed forum post with links for both Wrath, CATA, and MOP, if you do want to play those private servers, what they do, and links for each expansion, which is pretty sick. I'll also YouTube is a great resource if you don't know how to turn on or set up certain add-ons. So I had no idea what the command was to set up debuff filter before I made this video. So I went up to this, I just typed in how to set up debuff filter, and there's a video by this guy called ToloDK, how to set up debuff filter. And I found that the command is /d filter. I didn't know what it was. So YouTube is a great reference if you don't know how to set up a certain add-on. If there isn't a GUI, if it's a command line interface or CLI, and you don't know what the commands are, YouTube is a great reference. Or you can just try Google there. So any questions, please leave them in the description. Stay on the lookout for, I'm going to be making since my tanking tutorial was very popular, a lot of people wanted to watch it, I'm going to be making a healing one for healing, tutorial for how to heal in older expansions, and there are some major differences between how to heal in older expansions versus healing in retail, one of them being down ranking, which I'll explain what that is when we get into it, and that'll be a lot of fun. I'm also probably going to, in the works for maybe a version 2 of a tanking tutorial, a little bit more finesse, because my last one was it was good, but I feel like I'm a much better player now, and I think I can explain tanking a little bit better from a Druid perspective on a TBC server, so look out for that as well. Well, as always, guys, thanks again for watching, and see you soon.